iOS and Android.
Now at 6, Freeman Health System in Joplin celebrates 30 years of a life-saving heart procedure. Plus, a Joplin restaurant hosts a tasty fundraiser to benefit the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks. And volunteers in Baxter Springs pitched in to distribute toys you made possible to kids in the community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Freeman Health System is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the very first heart catheterization operation. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. The operation and its advancement have saved thousands of lives. KOAM's Melissa Alexis took in the event and has more.
I was the godfather of the program.
It all started 30 years ago.
We built something that has saved lives and has helped so many people.
30 years ago, cardiologist John Cox performed the very first heart catheterization procedure at Freeman Health System. Throughout these 30 years, Dr. John Cox and cardiovascular technologist Elizabeth Baum have saved thousands of lives.
That lab allowed us to do some diagnostic procedures, and then some months later, we were able then to do our first cardiac surgeries here as well.
A lot of things have changed since that very first operation 30 years ago.
It took us all day to do 5 cases probably. Now it takes us 2 hours to do 5 cases. And that's including longer cases. There's a lot to learn. There's new procedures all the time, new equipment. It's not the same thing all the time. It's constantly growing.
Old technology was to create images on 35 millimeter film. You had replay. There was a giant tape recorder that you had to rewind and look again.
And that's not the only change. The first operation was only a diagnostic test. They've advanced the procedure to a therapeutic one, where they work to fix the problems they find.
Now we do interventions. We work on a lot of different parts of the body, not just the heart.
And now, Freeman Health System, along with the cardiologist, is celebrating this milestone and its impact on the community.
I'm grateful to have been a part of it.
Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
The first year they did the procedure, doctors performed about 100 total operations. Since then, they've done thousands of procedures. For the second year in a row, Freeman Health System can also lay claim to Missouri Rural Champion. The title refers to an individual who made significant contributions to improving the health and well-being of people in rural areas. This year's champion is Dr. Barbara Miller, a Freeman family practice physician based in Neosho, Missouri. She joins last year's winner, Sarah Willoughby, a Freeman behavioral health coach. Dr. Miller will receive her award during a ceremony held in Neosho from state officials in early 2025. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, of course, for us today, it was cold. Temperatures, they only made it up right around freezing, about 32 to 35 degrees. It's 30 in Joplin. It's 30 in Pittsburgh. We have pretty much clear skies, but we're going to drop. It's going to be a cold night. 26 in Stockton, 32 Neosho, Welch, 31 Iola is sitting at 28 degrees. At least the winds have calmed down, so it's not making it feel even colder than what it actually is. Through the evening, 27 by 8, 24 by midnight. I think most of us will bottom out right around 20 degrees. A few little clouds kind of skirting through, but in general, we look pretty good. We don't have any storm systems, which are going to be moving in over the next couple days. And in fact, we're going to start to warm up. So after a really cold night, as we go into the weekend, temperatures bounce back. Very nice, actually, as we head into next week. Lots of rain chances. We're going to talk about that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, the clock is ticking once again on a potential government shutdown. The move would coincide with Christmas travel for as many as 119 million Americans. And many of those travelers will come right through the Springfield-Branson National Airport. Staff at the Southwest Missouri Airport say regardless of government funding, they'll still be there to meet the demand.
My advice about traveling for the holidays is the same this year as it would be for any year, regardless of government shutdown. And that is, get to any airport you're flying in and out of 2 hours early.
We'll have more on this story coming up tonight on KOAM News at 10. With just a few days left until Christmas, community members of Baxter Springs, Kansas gathered to support local children. This morning, the First Christian Church distributed toys they received through this year's Toy Box campaign. Parents, guardians, and caregivers in the Baxter Springs community were able to stop by and pick up toys to take home and wrap as Christmas presents.
I love Christmas a lot, and so personally it's just been a mission of mine to help make sure everyone who asks for help and needs the help in our county, that child wakes up on Christmas morning with at least we can provide 2 pretty good toys under their tree.
With your help and contributions to our Toy Box campaign, the First Christian Church will be helping more than 400 area kids have a Merry Christmas. Well, Trackside Burgers in Joplin hosted a tasty fundraiser today. The Burger Hotspot provided not only its usual burgers and barbecue, but an opportunity to give something to the community. 10% of all purchases from the Dine In and Donate Day went to the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks. All the funds raised in the Joplin area will stay in the Joplin area.
I've had several friends that have battled breast cancer, and I've met some amazing people just over the last few months that are going through it. And you know, those women are warriors. You know, we do have a few men in our organization that we've helped over the years. So it's not just a stigmatism where it's just women.
Trackside says the goal is to provide a $100 gift card for every family who has received financial aid from the foundation. Well, sports reporter Brock Baldridge brings us another minute with the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis. That's coming up. Plus, volunteers brave the cold to help repair damaged headstones at a cemetery in West Mineral. To help repair a vandalized cemetery in West Mineral, Kansas. Last week, Star Cemetery was vandalized with grave markers damaged, broken into pieces, or knocked over. Community members were shocked, and a reward is now being offered for any information. But out of the bad comes some good as a community comes together to pick up the pieces. KOAM's Samantha Walker has their story.
Cemeteries are known to be quiet and peaceful. But after an act of vandalism, the Star Cemetery in West Mineral, Kansas is full of the sounds of a community coming together in response to an unimaginable act.
When I saw that, it's heartbreaking that somebody would do such a thing at a cemetery. It's sad and hurtful.
Nakoma Oum owns Next Generation Enterprise, a local masonry and concrete company. He says when his team learned about the vandalism, everyone wanted to come together to help.
We've had experience doing some of this stuff before, and never to this scale, but my crew has bought in, and we all just kind of grouped up together and decided, yeah, hey, we're going to go and help see if we can just make things right again.
The team says there are likely more than 100 gravestones that need to be repaired. They're working to pick back up, repair, level, and clean any headstone that needs it, using their skills to give back.
I don't get the opportunity to do a lot of volunteer work, but something like this was real great, and we even had a bunch of people volunteer their own time.
When word of the repair project got around, more and more people joined the cause, including residents from the West Mineral area and masons from all across the 4 states.
When I rounded the corner here, I thought maybe I was at the wrong place. I thought something else was going on because of the amount of cars that were out here. And just to see everybody digging in and pitching in and coming together.
The volunteers say they hope the community effort can make a positive out of a bad situation, especially during the holiday season.
I hope that whoever did this and the families that were affected by it, I hope that they can have forgiveness in their hearts, move past this, and realize that there is without the darkness there is no light, and just realize that something good came from this.
Reporting in West Mineral, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Well, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department initiated an investigation into the vandalism, and we've reached out to see if there's any update and are waiting for a response. Well, a little later, some people like to put on their holiday best this time of year, but we've got an event for you and your holiday worst. That's coming up.
Plus, our temperature is warming up a little bit as we head into the weekend. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, of course, cold for us today. We had the sunshine, but temperatures, they just couldn't warm up. We sat right around that freezing mark for most of the day, but we are going to start to get warmer as we go into the weekend, which is good news. Here's a great shot. This is our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We are looking right northeast, right through downtown Joplin. All right, temperatures. This colder Arctic air has kind of slid into the northern parts of the plain, so that's why we're so much colder, but it's going to get better. Temperatures will start to warm up as we go into Saturday and Sunday. Down tonight, right now most of us upper 20s to near 30 degrees. And I think most of us will bottom out probably right around 20 degrees later on tonight. 30, winds are calm, which is good. It was a little breezy out there earlier today, but those have calmed down. We slide back through the 20s, near 20 later on tonight. A few little clouds kind of skirting through, mainly staying to our north. But it's going to be quiet weather-wise tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday. But on Monday, that's when we start to see some changes. Next storm system already building in the Pacific Northwest will start to affect us. So let's go through time. Of course, getting right into the holidays. As we get into the weekend, overall, it looks pretty good. So it's going to be really cold during the morning, temps near 20. We'll get into lower 40s by noon, and then our high temps will stop this at about 3:30. That's about our high temperature this time of the year. 41 in Nevada, 47 in Anderson, 46 in Miami. Parsons up to about 43 degrees. Cold again tomorrow night, not as cold, upper 20s across the region. And then check this out, by Sunday, not too shabby as we go into the mid 50s of 4 highs. Clouds increase Sunday evening, Sunday night, into Monday. I think Monday's mainly going to be cloudy, but we're going to start to see those showers increasing across the region. First off, details on the weekend, 45 Saturday, a cold night, 52 on Sunday. So overall, looking pretty good over the next couple days. Then it starts to get kind of interesting. Rain increasing Mondays. A lot of people will be traveling. We are going to have some wet roads, especially I-44 and south. Periods of rain Monday night into Tuesday morning. Of course, it's Christmas Eve. Rain on and off throughout the day on Christmas Eve. Here's about midnight, so about Santa time. Still showers, so not a white Christmas. Rain starts to exit once we get into Christmas Day afternoon. Short little break, then here we go again. Showers, thunderstorms pushing in late Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. Periods of rain. This system moves out. Brief break. Here we go again. Another big system moving in late Friday into Saturday. No snow next week, but it's not far around the corner. I think if you get past the new year, then we're going to get into winter weather. How much rain can we get? This is over the next week. A lot of areas are going to pick up 1 inch, 2, maybe upwards of 3 inches of rain, which, hey, we can always use it. All right, 45 Saturday, 52 Sunday. Temperature is great. We hold into the 50s, even 60s late next week. But again, a lot of people are going to be traveling, even if it's just short regional traveling. Just be aware the roads are going to be wet, which makes them a little bit slick.
All right, well, yeah, a lot of rain on the roads. It can be dangerous at times. All right, just be aware. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, still ahead, Pitt State women's basketball looks to bounce back after a loss. And we hear from the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs ahead of this week's game. Brock Baldridge has the details and more.
The Carl Junction Bulldogs and the Joplin Eagles boys basketball teams meet for the second time in the last 2 weeks. It was last week in the Carthage Invitational that CJ and Joplin both went into double overtime. Former conference opponents meet for the first time as non-conference opponents. Actually, they met last week. That was when CJ beat Joplin in that double overtime game. And both teams are looking to get one more tune-up game before they enter the holiday break. This game is scheduled to tip off tonight at 7:30 p.m. We'll have highlights from that game tonight at 10. The Pitt State women's basketball team is enjoying the weather in South Florida as the team wraps up their final game in Fort Lauderdale. The Gorillas had their 9-game winning streak snapped yesterday, and they aim to bounce back today. Well, Pitt State takes care of business as PSU beats Colorado Mesa 95-81. The Gorillas scored 36 points in the second quarter of this game. AC Mays led the way with 21 points, and the Gorillas have now finished their non-conference schedule. They begin a 17-game conference stretch starting on January 2nd. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs have started one of the toughest stretches in the NFL this season. The schedule starts to get interesting for the Chiefs with the playoffs on the horizon. That brings us to this week's edition of Minute with Mitch.
This stretch the Chiefs are on, brutal. Maybe the most challenging regular season stretch in team history. 3 games in 10 days, 2 on the road, counting last Sunday's game at Cleveland. The situation is compounded by the intensity of these games and Patrick Mahomes' injury situation. But there's a bigger issue here. The Chiefs are not alone in 2024. The NFL scheduled 10 teams to play 3 games in a 10-day span. I look for an additional bye to be added in future schedules, with an 18th regular season game looming, more international games, and especially more streaming partners added in the future who want specialty games like Black Friday or Christmas games. The NFL schedule could soon stretch from Labor Day to the end of February because an additional bye week should be added on this Minute with Mitch. The Minute with Mitch is brought to you by Como Jewelry in Joplin and Pittsburgh.
Tonight, the college football playoff begins as the Indiana Hoosiers travel to play the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Indiana is a 7-point underdog in this game. Winner advances to the Sugar Bowl, where they will play the Georgia Bulldogs. So, obviously, still a lot of football left to be played. The college football playoff just getting started. And of course, tomorrow, you have 2 pro football games and they have 3 college football games.
Back to that thing that Mitch was talking about, 3 games in a 10-day stretch.
Yes.
Do you think that's too much for the teams?
I agree. I think that's too much.
Or do you think they're getting paid for it, so you might as well get your money's worth out
I think you need another bye week for sure.
All right. That's it for sports. We're back after this. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We'll have some advice from the experts on how to deal with a seasonal affective disorder. Plus, we'll have the latest on the coast-to-coast Amazon strike. And we take you out to Eastside Cafe in Girard, Kansas for a winter wonderland. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, if you're looking for events in the 4 states but don't know where to turn, we've got you covered. Just scan this QR code and go straight to the events page of our website. That's where you can find fun family events in the area anywhere, anytime. KOAMnewsnow.com/events. Now, one of those events is tomorrow night in Miami. Dust off your ugly Christmas sweaters. Get ready to rock around the Christmas tree. JJ Lanes is hosting the first annual Ugly Christmas Sweater Party. How fun. The event features some rockin' Christmas music, sweet treats, and holiday drink specials, multiple giveaways, but most importantly, wear your best, worst holiday sweater and enjoy the fun. The party kicks off at 7. Today is National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day, so I plan on wearing one tonight.
All that start.
I don't know. It's the 3rd Friday in December, always. Yes. Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
No.
He only wears pretty sweaters.
I don't dress up for Halloween.
I noticed that.
Sweater.
Final check of weather.
All right, for us tonight, it is going to be cold. We're going to drop back near 20 degrees. 45 on your Saturday, 52 on Sunday. So the weekend looks pretty good, but rain every single day next week.
Sounds like sweater weather tonight. Sports note.
Yeah, good news for Chiefs fans. Hollywood Browns activated from the injury reserve, so we'll get the chance to see him play against the Texans tomorrow.
All right.
His debut.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening and an even better tomorrow.